What's happening? It's your boy Jay Britton, about to cook some eggs today to feed the muscles after a great full body workout. Here I have my wife with me, my lovely chef.
Hi.
Here she go. So what do we have, babe?
So I have a variety of fresh ingredients. There's brown eggs, there's fresh avocado, then I have spinach, cilantro, onion, and fresh minced garlic. And those are the things that I'm going to be dealing with today in order to make him some eggs. He gets very excited about it. Anyways, so what I'm going to start with is just mincing the fresh things, which is going to be the spinach first. So normally I like to just take mine and fold it in half first, and then start the chopping process. It kind of helps everything kind of become pretty fine so that you don't have big chunks of things in there. I like to use the stem in everything so that you're getting the nutrients from the leaf as well as the nutrients from the stem as well. So once that's all done, I put everything in a bowl. Onto my fresh cilantro. My fresh cilantro folded in half as well. Now this I like to mince just a little bit more, only because, you know, whole leaves get caught in the throat. I've had it happen to me before. It's not nice. Yeah, it wasn't nice. So I like to do the cilantro just a little bit finer than the spinach. And with the cilantro, I like to use the stem as well. Make sure it's washed. Make sure everything is washed and ready to go. Get all the dirt off. Get all the seeds or whatever off before you go ahead and chop it up. I'm going to put that in my bowl as well with my spinach.
Who's on this live broadcast? Make yourself known.
Then I go to my onion.
It's my jam right here.
So I'm going to use a different knife with the onion just because the other one has leaves and things on it. You don't want to use too much onion just because there's already some overbearing ingredients in it. Cilantro has its own. What are you doing? Cilantro has its own taste, and onions can be a little overbearing at times. I don't know what he's doing.
You know I get excited when we eat.
Exactly, excited about food. So I'm gonna mince those, chop them pretty fine, so there's not big pieces of that either. And then I like to take it again and just go across it until I have small squares of the onions. Throw that in the bowl. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and get another bowl.
It looks like
So then I'm going to just start cracking my eggs. You can use however many eggs you want to, depending on who's eating. I would probably say for one person, to be honest, you probably need to use 2 eggs. Since he likes eggs, and I'll be eating some too. I think we have a total of 6 eggs. So I'm just going to go ahead and crack those. And by the way, brown eggs are so good.
better. Like real talk, the nutrients level of it is the same, just about the same as a white egg, but it's more flavorful. The brown egg is. That's why we like it. We got hooked about, I'll say like 2 months ago. Haven't bought a white egg since.
Yeah, I won't touch white eggs anymore. Brown eggs, the seasoning for them is very minimal. With white eggs, I was using like seasoning salt, garlic salt. I don't use all that with brown eggs. Now I just do a sprinkle of sea salt and pepper and fresh garlic, and we're good to go. Let's get all these cracked. I have one more. on?
A cap full or what?
I would say about a teaspoon.
Okay, so let's.
It doesn't need much.
Do a teaspoon. Sorry, this is gonna be accurate.
Yeah, let's use a tablespoon.
Okay.
There we go.
So what should I? Teaspoon.
It's okay, but I like it when they kind of get fried in that, so that's fine.
Does this oil make it more like fluffy and moist, or what?
The oil helps it cook and helps it come together nicely, and not only that, it helps the eggs not stick to your pans, of course. Here I have the minced garlic. This is also a teaspoon. I kind of just put enough on the tip of it, not filling the whole entire teaspoon. Dump it in. And then go ahead and turn your eye on. I put it on about medium high just so everything can get going, and then before I put my eggs in, I turn it down so that the eggs don't burn. So now I'm just going to mix the eggs up while that's getting prepared. Then I'm going to add a little pepper. A little sea salt, just a couple of shakes. I wouldn't overdo it. Sea salt does very well in seasoning, so there's not a need to use a lot of it. So just a couple of shakes. And then, like I said, the brown eggs are very flavorful, so it doesn't need a lot of seasoning, period. It has its own seasoning. And by the way, these are caged-free brown eggs, meaning that the chickens that lay the eggs, they're not in a coop, they're not in a cage, they kind of just roam free and lay eggs. Which I'm assuming, and I can get the details on this, but you know, if you have an animal or a chicken that's not, you know, in a cage, it's probably not as stressed as one that is, which allows for their product to be a little bit better. So I hear everything sizzling. Just gonna kind of shake it around. Shake it around so it's not all in one spot. Then I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. I'll add my cilantro, spinach, and onions. Just to kind of get that in there. Stir it around just a little bit so those ingredients can kind of fuse. And then I would say once you start, it smells so good. Just the cilantro and onions and garlic and stuff smells really good. Yeah. I'll go ahead and put the rest in there. Remember, it all depends on how much of the fresh ingredients that you want in there, meaning the cilantro and the spinach. But remember, as you're cooking it, it does wilt down. So you might have grabbed a big bunch and cut it, but at the same time, once it gets into the pan, it starts to wilt. So it kind of just all depends on how much of it you want in there. All right, here we go. Now comes the eggs. Woo.
So basically, she got me doing dishes though, but I don't mind. They say in the Bible, you don't work, you don't eat. Well, I'm working. This is my job. She got me busting suds, y'all.
It's helpful. So I just allow the eggs, it's okay. I just allow the eggs to sit for a moment just so they can kind of start coming together. Just so they can start coming together before I start stirring them and playing with them and messing with them. So I let them sit for a little bit. This is kind of how they look. They just sit on top so that when I start stirring, the bottom is already kind of cooked. And then as I move them around, then whatever liquid is sitting on top, then it moves into the place of the eggs that are kind of already cooked, if that makes sense. So I'm going to start stirring. Start moving them around, And as you can see, some of it has already started to come together. So we're just going to finish it up. I'll let it sit a little bit more because it's quite a few eggs in there. If I had maybe like 1 or 2 eggs in there, it wouldn't be a problem. But since I have quite a few eggs in here and it's quite a lot of liquid in there right now, it needs a little more time to sit in order to cook.
Usually what she cooks with this is tomatoes. She likes to cook with tomatoes on a regular basis, onions, and what else do you cook with?
Most of the time cilantro and spinach, yeah.
Okay. And you do that for the coloring, or is it for the nutrients? Why do you cook with those things?
I do like color when I'm cooking, so I will add color. Like the tomatoes, for me, I love tomatoes. I probably put cilantro, onions, and tomatoes in almost everything that I cook.
Sure.
I do. The tomatoes are for color, so if I had that little just splash of red in here, it would be nice. But tomatoes are good as well.
That isn't just the sound of the 2015.
Okay, they're almost done. Starting to come together. You know, and I know everybody kind of eats their eggs a little bit different. I like mine scrambled. I do not like runny eggs. So I try to cook mine, not to the point where they're burnt or anything like that. Sorry, Brother Rick. But I do not like liquidy eggs, but I don't want them burnt either. Just until they get nice and brown and they're not as shiny anymore. So now I can kind of toss them and move them around a little bit more, just because they're not as liquidy anymore. They kind of all come together, and by the way, it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell these because they're really good. Okay, so these are just about done. And I'm going to go ahead and plate them. See, I have a wonderful helper in the kitchen. Look at that. Cleaning up and everything. That's because he's about to eat. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and plate these. This is how they turned out. See the spinach in there and the cilantro. Can't really see the onions because they're translucent now, but that's okay. So the extra added thing that I like to do is I like to use an avocado for garnish. And it's not just for garnish, but it's also to eat with the meal. Avocados are excellent. They're awesome. We have them in the house all the time. So I'm just going to half this.
Protein.
I'm going to half it and then twist it. Open it. Boom. Perfect. So what I just do is I just take it and I just slice it. Babe, can I have a spoon, please? And then I just kind of squeeze it to kind of loosen it up. That helps. You take your spoon and just go along the edges. And it comes out as perfect pieces. I just go ahead and put that on the side. And then here you go. You have breakfast eggs with avocado.
high in protein. Eat this usually after a workout. Feed the muscles. You usually have a window of 30 to 45 minutes to feed your muscles. So that's when you want to do it, okay? So just got done working out. About to eat some eggs and refuel. You guys have a good one. Hope you guys like our cooking session. Join us more. We'll be bringing it to you. Desserts, healthy meals, and meal prep as well. So you guys stay tuned. It's your boy Jay Britton with my lovely wife. You guys have a great Saturday and say it with your chest. Peace.
Thank you for having me.